Just need to make sure YouTube is up to the right thumbnail. And there we go. YouTube's up the right thumbnail, so should be good to go. Realize something small. My tooth is starting to hurt. Still need to get that damn filling in there, but at least I should be able to get that all sorted out. So let me just get started. Double check the bit rates. Bit rate seems good. Seems a little bit laggy on Twitch. Not dropping any frames. Bitrate doesn't say any median. I'm getting, well, 300 frames per second, so that's not the issue. How's the bitrate when uploading? It says 6,000. But it looks a bit choppy on Twitch. Let me just switch my Twitch view to something else. There we go. Temporarily switch it to that. Let's see if it's still poor bitrate. Seems relatively fine. I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to tell him. Just say something's not right to me. It looks fine enough. Maybe it's just maybe what's maybe in fact because the frame rate's up to 300, that's actually causing the issue. Graphics, is VSync turned on? Looks like there's not a VSync option, but likely when we get into the actual game itself, that may fix the issue. Maybe the frame rate's just too high for the menu. While that's thinking, switch back to this view here. But to me, Twitch seems like it's a bit laggy. Leave a pause for a moment, see how well the screen smoothly transitions. Yeah, this seems actually pretty smooth. Maybe the really high frame rate of the menu, but I think that was the issue. But either way, let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Dawn of War 2 replay. So on the north side, as the Tech Marine, we have King Fisher, who's trying to fish some Lord Commissar, which is Preceptor. We do have a Sentinel coming on out. Tactical Marines also being deployed out as well. Scouts are capturing the requisition point here, while the Commissar is capturing the Central VP. And yeah, it looks like the frame is pretty smooth right now in game, so it's maybe just the main menu that seemed like it was poor bit rate because at 300 frames per second. Sentinel's pushing his way forward, trying to capture up some points here. Excuse me as I clear out my throat. Tactical Marines capture up the left flank. Requisition point also being captured. Tech Marine and a Sentinel are now engaging, and they're actually doing relatively equal damage, but the Sentinel will eke out ahead, but of course he needs repairs rather than healing. The Commissar is captured the power point, as the Space Marine forces are pushing quite far on the left flank. Of course, got a second scout squad here. Imperial Guardsmen are going to be backing off to this light cover here. They will get overwhelmed. Tactical Marines should just engage in melee because they're actually pretty effective versus melee, especially versus Imperial Guardsmen. Over on the flank, we do have the Sentinel Ben upgrade with Stomp, so now he's able to stomp on these dudes. Over here, we got the Lord Commissar make its advance. We'll find the Tactical Marines here as well. Lord Commissar is active his shield, of course, which allows him to use energy as health without usage of a upgrade slot. Tactical Marines do hop inside the garrison. They will be able to fire one window against the Commissar and one window against the Sentinel, which will be splitting the fire. Not really that great, honestly. The Commissar needs to disable his shield to regenerate some energy. Over to here, we do have the Scouts capture the requisition point, as well as this Tech Marine forcing back Imperial Guardsman. Imperial Guardsman here has been upgraded to Sergeant, so has this one here. Scout has gone inside the garrison. It's not exactly a great spot for the garrisons in the Dawn of War 2 is just not really that great. With one window firing, now there's two windows firing, but still got all 9 weapons firing there. Scouts are capturing up the VP and the Tactical Marines making their advance. When the Scout models do go down, on the left side, the Lord Commissar has captured the requisition point, has not deactivated the shield generator just yet. So he's not getting any sort of energy gen. Scout Squad, of course, do fall back. Tactical Marines maybe eyeing to get the garrison themselves, trying to stall out this requisition point. Managed to get it. Actually, it's not captured yet. Still at the 30 point, while this is actually currently at 15. Tactical Marine is capturing multiple points here. Overall, some great field patrol by the Imperial Guardsman. I think my game audio is a little bit too loud. Based on the what I see on the left side on my audio, that should even it out a little bit. For the appears to be one person streaming my stream, can you tell me how the audio levels are? My voice compared to the game itself. The guard tower. Apparently I can actually call it a guard tower. And got some flamers here, which will clear out the garrison. The Sentinel has not charged forward for a stomp. Now they're going. He's charging forward for a stomp. Doesn't the stomp off? And second Tactical Marine Squad has been deployed on out. Imperial Guardsmen making their advance once again, getting some good damage there onto the Scout Squad. And just only managed to capture the requisition point there. On the right side, we've got some Tactical Marines and a Tech Marine advancing together. Sentinels in the center of the map does decapture the central VP.
The chapter calls and we answer.
Research underway.
Ready to serve.
We do have a Cashin Devil Squad being deployed on out, or being deployed. And Tier 2 being researched by the Tech Marine. Sentinel's now making its advance, trying to get some good damage in on these squads. 2 Scout Squads, not very well armored. The heavy cover here will be very useful, but the Sentinel can charge forward to stomp, as well as the Lord Commissar can just charge forward as well. We do have a comparative base armor, which increases the health and health regen of the Commissar, reduces the energy and cooldown of the Inspired Courage. Grants the Lord Commissar 50% increased damage for 15% seconds. And expression if he's is currently expressed at the start of the execution. So his executions are much more inspiring to himself. Apparently he needs to kill his own men to feel inspired. The Lord of Commissar is making his advance, getting some good damage there onto the Scout Squad. And the Lord of Commissar will need to fall back relatively soon. That's just way too much damage there. And the Lord of Commissar will likely go down. The Scout Squad should stop capturing and start firing. I suppose he is able to retreat back. Hard to get any damage on the retreat. Flamer Squad is capturing up a requisition point in the center of the map. We do have the Cashin Devils. And there is a demolition charge here. You can tell that it is camouflage if you primarily look at that blue haze. And of course, got the grenade launcher barrage knocking back what appears to be the Tech Marine. Cashin Devils, I'm not so sure how effective Cashin Devils are in melee versus the Tech Marine, but does use a shotgun nutback there. Remember, the Scouts are not the only one with a shotgun nutback. And it looks like the Cashin Devils are reasonable in melee compared to a Tech Marine. Tactical Marines are not being upgraded Flamer, and they're currently not engaging the generators. Sentinels making their advance. Getting some good damage there onto the Tactical Marines.
Scouts ready to
Oh, on the right side, we've got the Flamers not pushing the way forward. And he will be able to destroy one, if not two generators here. The Tech Marine needs to start charging into melee in order to tie them, rather than destroying any more generators. He will get two, no problem. I think they got stuck by reload animation there. Could retarget to the other one, but did not. And no, he will not get the kill on that generator. Trying to use the force attack move in order to get some more damage there. He's repairing up the scout there, so he will not get the generator. He will fall back. The scout squad will not get wiped. Hopefully he won't get wiped. Sentinel and guardswoman over here trying to push their way forward. We do have a Dreadnought deployed on the field, and Tier 2 being researched by the Lord Commissar. He may need to get the missile launcher upgrade there onto the Sentinel to help engage that Dreadnought. Lord Commissar is being upgraded with Xenos Power Claw, which is an anti-vehicle weapon, but it's a little bit too late. He needs Tier 2 just got finished, so now he's actually being upgraded with it. Stormtroopers also being deployed on out, hopefully for some melta guns to engage that Dreadnought. Assault Cannon going for the barrage, getting a pretty good hit there on the Imperial Guardsman.
We shall make it so.
We've got Cash Devils here, camouflage. I don't think they have the melta gun upgrade. Actually, they may have the melta gun upgrade. Scout squads to receive some grenade launcher barrage. And we got the crack or frag missiles upgrade on the Sentinel. He needs to load up the crack missiles to hit that Sentinel. And there was a squad wipe there on that scout squad. The melta gun is upgraded, but he will fall back. The sergeant is the one who is armed with the melta gun. Tactical Marines making their advance. And looks like he's going to go for the VP, but he'll capture that no problem. Stormtroopers had them upgraded with something. Lascannon also been deployed on out. Actually, it looks like Stormtroopers were actually cancelled, and it went for the Lascannon Devis heavy weapon speed. Dreadnought now engaging the power point, trying to get it deactivated. He would like to get deactivated, but with the Lascannon here, he won't be forced back after that point. And we've got a flare here, reducing the range of these squads. Then Sternguard veteran has also been deployed now. Lord of Commissar charging forward with his Xenos Power Claw. The flare does also reduce, doesn't reduce movement speed, does the Lascannon remove the speed. And the Dreadnought goes down. Very good pick there. With both Scout and Dreadnought down, that's a lot of squads lost. The Tactical Marines are, and Stormguard veterans getting inside the garrison. That's not a good idea. Crack miss or frag missiles raining on it. That is, and with the flamers here, that's a bunch of anti-garrison tools. Getting some great damage on those squads. Both these squads are falling back. The Tactical Marines do drop a couple models there. What should the Tech Marine deploy out?
Support structure complete.
He may want to go for a flamer or plasma gun upgrade on the Tactical Marine squad. Either would be useful. Flamers, of course, effective for the Imperial Guardsmen, while the plasma guns are just good general range damage. Sentinel will be capturing the central VP, as the melta gun will provide some good damage against this point.
Fortifications are under assault.
The heavy weapons team is largely going to be useless for the time being. Can use that to go around capture points, but that's about it. If he's down to one model, might as well just keep it back at base and don't reinforce it. Plasma Cannon Devastator squad. Now that is a powerful squad, especially versus Imperial Guardsmen, because they are vulnerable to high damage AoE weapons such as that. So this is going to be very, very effective indeed. PowerPoint now under siege by the Flamers. Lord of Commissar is making an advance. We'll be tying up the Sternguard veterans up in melee. Imperial Guardsmen have seen some poison shots there by the Sternguard veteran. The Flamer squad's now advancing. I do hear the Plasma Cannon Devastator. doing significant amount of damage to that Imperial Guardsman. Lord Commissar has fallen on back. And no upgrade on the Tech Marine at the moment. And there's a lot of damage coming out on that Imperial Guardsman. This Imperial Guardsman has 3 models remaining. It could potentially get wiped. It does get fully wiped there. That's a big loss there. Because the Plasma Cannon Devastator is force fire on the ground. The other Guardsman has not a Commissar upgrade, but does have a Plasma Gun upgrade. Maybe a good idea to go for some Stormtroopers at this point in time, or get some good damage. And perhaps keep them unupgraded so you can perhaps get Melta Guns later on if needed. Because the Tech Marine, it does have some good global threat abilities for vehicles, such as like the global repairs. So getting out vehicles is generally the MO for Tech Marine.
Understood.
For the Lord Commissar, he needs something to deal with the Plasma Cannon Devastator. A Manticore wouldn't necessarily be a half-bad item. Stormtroopers, of course, can camouflage. We may see this demolition trap detonated. Probably when it gets close to the edge of being decaptured. Plasma Cannon Devastator, firing shot there on the Lord Commissar. And he does not detonate that in time. He wasn't paying attention. Oops, I hit my microphone. Tactical Marine Squad engaging Lord Commissar in melee, but the Lord Commissar won't be able to stay and fight for too much longer. The Sergeant itself almost goes down as well. Cashin Devils and Scouts have both received quite a bit of fire there, and the Lord Commissar does go down. Both players are going for tier 3. The Lord Commissar has a massive requisition pool. He needs a lot of energy to get out of Baneblade, but he has enough requisition for a Baneblade. Likely he's going to go for a Cadian Karshan squad. That's my guess. While the Tech Marine probably going to go for a Predator, though it does, of course, Tech 3 allows him to get access to Terminators, as was the Venerable Dreadnought. Both are another possibility as well. But I'm thinking Predator would be the best item at the moment to save Dread points for other abilities.
Additional units have become available, Commander.
Those frag missile launcher barrages seem a bit weird. They only fire one at the moment. Plasma Cannon Devastator setting on up. Lord Commissar and Las Cannon Heavy Weapons team pushes way forward. The Las Cannon Heavy Weapons team will do absolutely nothing. Lord Commissar will receive a pretty good hit there. Has half of his NG, but looks like he's doing a full retreat right there. Las Cannon Devastator needs to fall back. It will do nothing here. It will just die. Another Imperial Guardsman squad being deployed on now. Not a Cadian Karshan squad. He may be saving up for a Baneblade. Frag missiles now raining on in. He does not get a shot off there. Tech Marine does receive some high explosive missiles there. And Imperial Guardsmen have seen a bit of fire there. We do have a flare there, forcing him into closer range, but it's not exactly a fight he can win at the moment. Imperial Guardsmen will need to fall back, getting some good AoE damage with the Sentinel, but... oh, going for a Stomp. The Stomp would be great. Good knockback there. Cadian Devils are pushing the way forward. Leman Russ being deployed, and now got a good medium tank. And great knockback there onto the Tactical Marine Squad. Kadashan Devils are now charging in melee, so is the Lord Commissar. Kadashan Devils, however, getting ripped apart by the Tactical Marine, as was the Tech Marine. Kadashan Devils are now falling on back. We may see some more frag missiles. We do have a bunker now being deployed. Is that a bunker? No, that's Terminators. I don't know why I thought it was a bunker. Terminators have been pointed up by the Tech Marine. deadly hit there onto the Imperial Guardsman. The Imperial Guardsman are about ready to be fully wiped there. The Sergeant will escape on out of there, getting some good melee hits there with his Terminators. Terminators do have good melee weapons. They are, of course, armed with power fists, and they're getting severe damage there. Execution turret has been upgraded. Last Cannon Devastate, or turret heavy weapons team, is trying to do some work, but poorly. And now the Lord of Commodore should be able to collapse in on the Plasma Cannon Devastator. Getting some good damage there. It does activate a shield generator for its remaining bit of energy. And it does force back the Plasma Cannon Devastator, but there's a lot of range firepower not coming on forward. And Terminators are a good hybrid weapons squad, able to both fight in melee and range.
Space Marines on the field.
Execution turret is firing some good damage in. We got some armor piercing rounds being loaded on in from the Stern Guard veterans. And also throws on missile from the Tactical Marines. Looks like they're freshly upgraded with that. The Imperial Guardsmen may need to go in melee to hold off the Terminators. Is that a good idea? Imperial Guardsmen are falling back. High system missiles now raining on in. These guys were quite bunched up, so the Executioner turret was able to get a lot of damage, sustain a lot of damage in return. Craft rounds are still being thrown. The Stern Guard veterans are falling on back. And the Last Cannon Devastator, or heavy weapons team, is falling back. Hasn't dropped the model yet, surprisingly enough. But the Leman Russ needs to stay back. The Terminators could teleport forward and punch it to death. So I don't know why, but it seems like the Imperial Guardsmen actually played that engagement quite well. Even though they didn't exactly win, but they didn't exactly lose either. High explosive grenades were thrown on in there, but of course they can't knock back Terminators. And, oh, throws a smoke grenade. More Plasma Cannon Devastator shots coming on in. On the left side, we've got the Scout Squad decapturing the VP. The VPs are heavily in favor towards the Tech Marine. There may be something else being deployed here. Nope, there's not.
Scouts here. Go ahead.
Tactical Marines are going to capture the VP. At this point, will be captured by the Scout Squad. The Lord Commodore is charging forward. It has been upgraded with the Emperor's Wrath, which allows him to call in 3 Basilisk rounds in quick succession. Tech Marine is currently not upgraded whatsoever. Maybe a good idea to go for the armor that allows, or the weapon that allows him to lay down some landmines to hit for the flanks. Good shotgun knockback there on the Lord of Commissar, denying the capture. Is that the... yeah, there's the Basilisk Strike. It does a lot of damage.
One of our battle brothers.
And he does get a full squad wipe there with the Lord Commissar, but that special attack is proving a bit problematic because he's a double capture against him and it's counting down quickly. Imperial Guardsmen need to start capturing the Central VP as soon as possible. We do got the Plasma Gun Guardsmen with the Commissar upgrades pushing way forward. The Sergeant Squad just needs to start capturing the VP or something. We do have the Leman Russ now engaging. Plasma Cannon Devastator gets a direct hit there on the Leman Russ. Missile launcher does roll a miss there, and since they were very stacked up, the Executioner turret did some serious damage. Getting some more and more good damage there on those forces. Leman Russ has the same bit of a beating, however. The Plasma Cannon Devastator, of course, effective, so is the Last Cannon Devastator. And the Sentinel will be decapturing this point here. Keeping the Sentinel alive right now is not exactly critical, though it is nice to sort of keep it alive, because it does provide a bit of AoE damage from the use. Catching Devils will need to fall back to low in health and energy. Leman Russ is getting some great long-range hits there. Multiple hits there onto the Sentinel. The Sentinel will go down. The point is decaptured. Imperial Guardsmen are repairing the Leman Russ while in combat, but the Imperial Guardsmen themselves are sustaining quite a bit of fire right now. The executioner turret of the Leman Russ is paying quite good dividends, but this other one Pure Guardsman does get fully wiped there, retreats back to the wrong squad. The Leman Russ needs to fall back. Trying to go for the Tactical Marine squad, and he teleports forward, body blocking the Leman Russ from retreating, and allow the Lascan Devastator to take out the Leman Russ. That was not very well played by the Imperial Guardsman. That was a very good teleport there. Who needs to snare it when you could just block it, saying "You shall not pass"? Terminator squad is quite low in health, but that missile launcher barrage, grenade launcher barrage was not very effective either. Does get a nice knockback there on the Stern Guard veteran, which also suppresses them. And now the Cataclysm Devil's trying to engage in melee, but they're getting ripped apart. They actually make it wiped there. Yep, they all go down right there. Leman Russ being deployed and out. I mean, there was just so much fire there. I'm not sure why he decided to engage right there. That was completely on him. He has one Pure Guardsman, one Heavy Weapons team, and here comes a Valkyrie run. Knocks his own Lord Commissar back there. And here comes the next run, and very good positioning there. But the Lord Commissar is out of energy, but has plenty of health remaining and should be able to engage. Is going to try and run down that Tactical Marine, but does not get the wipe there. Will start whacking away against the Terminators. The Terminators do need to stick back home, get reinforcements and health. And the Lord Commissar is now falling back entirely. Deployed out in Leman Russ, and now Acadian Carson squad now being deployed. Lascan Heavy Weapons team versus Lascan Devastator in glorious melee. And thanks to the fact that they're fighting against Space Marines, yeah, the Lascan Devastator wins handily. So the plasma guns on the Imperial Guardsmen should be able to deal with these Lascan Devastator no problem. There is a fresh Leman Russ here, so the Lascan Devastator may get wiped by the Imperial Guardsmen. Sword Guard veterans have not loaded up with armor-piercing rounds. They're seeing lots of damage there. Plasma Cannon Devastators engaging as well. Trying to tie up the Imperial Guardsmen up in melee, but then Lascan Devastator will likely go down. Dogcon, the Central VP, and the Imperial Guardsmen VPs are ticking out. And he's got some GG, knowing he has lost the game. And teleports behind them, and punch. Nope, he did not go down in time. If this punch had one more second, it would actually go down. But either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on.